Hi there, it is time to learn the pen tool. Pen tool is the hardest thing to learn in Illustrator. We're going to do it together. We're going to make this ninja, we're going to make an owl, we're going to make an alien, and we're going to make a crown. Let's draw those now together in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, to get started, no, I'm not going to make you import it again and make it as a template. I'm going to save you some time. Go to exercise files, open up one called pen tool, and I've kind of done that for you. Okay, and just make sure on the layer one. Okay, go to your properties panel, and we're going to zoom in on this alien. Okay, and we're going to build the same things, okay, to show the kind of differences between the pen tool and the curvature tool. Now, basically, the curvature tool does a lot of thinking for you, and it's pretty good and pretty intuitive, but there's times we just need to like get the pen tool to do exactly what you want. Okay, so grab the pen tool, it's just above the curvature tool here. Okay, and what we'll do is, you can see mine is set as a crosshairs. It's because I've got caps lock on. Some people prefer to use the pen tool like this, okay, and it comes out of the tip of that little pen. Or you can hit caps lock on your keyboard, okay, and you can see it becomes crosshairs. Okay, I'm going to do it just like this. So I'm going to zoom in, see my whole guy, and okay, so what happens with our pen tool is that by default it wants to do corners, kind of the opposite of the curvature tool. So if I click once, click once, click once, it's only going to give me, it's going to give me a very interesting octopus. Okay, so clicking once gives you corners. I'm going to undo all that, go back. Okay, so what you do with the pen tool is you click and drag to get a curve. So up the top here, I click and drag, and this is probably the hardest thing to do, is to get it started, because I click and drag out, but there's no curve, but I'm on the apex. But once you get it out here, you can see it's kind of, you can see it's a curve because it's connected. Plus you see those handles instantly, whereas the curvature tool, they were hidden. Okay, so same thing on the apex here. I click, and people just click once. Remember, clicking once gives you a corner for the pen tool. Okay, so it's not going to work. So I'm going to undo. So click and drag down. I know dragging down because you want to kind of like continue the line, so follow the line, drag that way, but that can be a little confusing. Sometimes people drag this way and move it around. You get a bit of a sense for it after we've done our full kind of alien. So I'm dragging it out to get this to kind of line up. Don't worry if you don't quite get it, okay? You can fix it up afterwards with the white arrow. It's quite easy. Next thing I want to do is, before I carry on, I want to give it no fill. So I'm going to go to the fill here, go red line, cool, click off. So remember, I'm going to look for the same kind of like technique as the curvature tool. I'm looking for this apex here. I'm going to click, hold, and drag down for a corner. And this is going to be clicking and dragging for the whole thing because there's no curves, right? Sorry, no corners. So here I'm going to click and drag, and you're like, oh no, I can't get it. So don't worry too much about getting it perfect on the first go around. We can fix it with the white arrow and add and remove anchor points afterwards. Same thing here, click and drag, and you're just like, oh, it's too big, it's not quite working. It's okay, we can adjust these afterwards. Get it kind of close, okay? And I'm just going to click, hold, and drag on all the apex of these curves. Click and drag. So remember, the apex is just kind of where the curve changes the most. So the curve changes quite a bit across here. Clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging. If yours is going horribly wrong and it's still attached and it won't work, okay, and you're like, okay, what you can do is go either undo, so edit, undo, or Command Z on a Mac, or Control Z on a PC, or you can hit the escape key. The escape key says detach, okay? Stop trying to draw lines everywhere. So I'm gonna undo, go back to here. So, again, if you kind of click off and it's like half finished, what you can do is watch my cursor. I've got my pen tool, and I'm kind of just hovering above. See that little change in the icon there? Get the little straight line. That means like, do you mean this? I'm like, yep, that's what I meant. Okay, so I'm gonna click and drag that to get a curve. Click and drag you, click and drag you, another one there. Okay, so I'm just going to work my way around this alien. Give me our alien. You, back to here, and this is another kind of gotcha for people that are new, is I come back here and you're like, great, just click once. And unlike the curvature tool, it doesn't kind of like automatically adjusted. It kind of went, you click once, you mean a corner, so I put a corner in. So I'm going to undo. So I'm going to click and drag because I meant a curve. All right. Now yours might not look anywhere near like mine. Mine's not that good either, but yours might be looking a little worse for wear. What we can do, remember, is the white arrow tool, the direct selection tool. we can click on these guys, okay, and we can adjust them. So I can click on the anchor point, move the anchor point along to make sure it's on the flow of the text, or sorry, the flow of the line, and grab these handles, okay, that influence the way the line passes through. And I can kind of just wiggle it around. Don't be afraid to move it around to get a feel for what it does and kind of start doing these adjustments. So here as well, I'm going to tuck him in. I'm just going to work my way around just to kind of fix this up a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I say that every time, and then I spend loads of time trying to make this thing look beautiful. As much as my quick little naff alien is. There you go. Oh yeah, beautiful, Dan. And with this one as well, I've got my smart guides off just because they can be a little hassle when you're using the pen tool trying to free form stuff. The smart guides, remember under view, smart guides, there it is there, I've got them off. Cool, let's do the inside one, click and drag. Maybe that's the hard one because you're like, okay, then you follow whichever way you've dragged. If I drag up, I've got to kind of follow the line this way because it's coming out that way. If I drag down, it comes out of there, click and drag. And with a circle, it needs at least 4 points to kind of look half decent. Okay, and you can see with the curvature tool, it does a lot of kind of like fixing up for you, which is quite cool. But sometimes you just don't want that as well. So the pen tool's a little bit easier because it gives you a lot more kind of control, a lot more manual. All right, that'll do. Yes, I just used the ellipse tool probably to get it looking really nice. And I am totally going to cheat now because I'm bored of this alien. I'm just going to grab my black arrow, click off, click on, copy paste. And my terrible circle is now just going to be a bit smaller. Done. All right, let's look at the crown. This is where it becomes easy. Pen tool loves this stuff. Don't have to hold anything down. Just click once, click once, click once. Okay, so with the pen tool, clicking and dragging gives you a curve. Clicking once gives you a corner point. Awesome. Okay, so then we get to our ninja. Hello, ninja. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You'll notice that when you zoom out and you've got something else selected, it goes, hey, did you mean this? And so it kind of zooms out and moves back up there. And you're like, no, 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 down here, please. Okay, you can turn that off in the preferences. So we're going to start down the bottom right-hand corner with the pen tool, and that is a corner. Okay, nice sharp corner. Click once. Now, where is the curve? The curve here is, the apex of it is halfway through here, so I'm going to click and drag. And this is a little hard because you like just need a little subtle one. Okay, so you end up kind of give it a wiggle around, give it a feel for it, okay, as you're dragging at the handles, and when you get it here, that's it. Now, this is going to be a corner because it's a change of direction, okay, and this is going to be a corner, so just click once, corner, click once, corner, click once, and then there's a little curve in here, okay, and click and drag. Cool. Click once for a corner, and okay, we've got curves again. How many? Like, do I just want one? I could try and do one. You're just never going to get the like right shape with just one of them. It's a fine old helmet thing. I'm looking for a perfect circle though. This happens lots. Yeah. Okay, if you get close to the edge, it really wants to jump out. And you can let go to undo, and then zoom in or out, and it will kind of jump back to the center again. Cool. So what do I want? I know through experience that a circle needs 4. We kind of did it for the alien up here. Okay, so I need one there, one there, one there, and there's no bit down the bottom, so I don't need him. So clicking up and down, that's another one, like drag down, and people kind of, which way does it go? Okay, remember you want to kind of drag and follow the line. So another one there, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, click once for a corner. If you get it wrong, okay, and you go down here and you click once and you're like, oh no, what do I do? Okay, you can just leave it and we'll show you how to fix those up in a second. Just kind of leave it there. We'll leave it there. Okay, got a curve, I'm dragging it out. I'm gonna try and fix it, but there's a bit of a problem there, so I'll come back and do that. Click once for a corner, click once for a corner, curve, click and drag. Click once for a corner to get this kind of straight line started. Another straight line, click and drag for a curve. So that one's a corner where it should be, yeah, so that one's a curve when it should be a corner, and this one I'm going to draw as a curve when it should be a corner. Go back to here, click once. Now I've got a full shape. Now to do some adjustments, okay, there's 2 major things I need to fix. Is I need to change these 2, okay, and there's a full tool to do it. It's called the anchor point tool. Okay, so I click on this. If you're using an early version, I think it's called the anchor conversion tool, something like that. Okay, so it looks like that in both versions. Click on this guy, and what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in. Okay, and we'll look at this guy. And if I click on him once, He was a corner. Oh, sorry, was a curve, and now he's a corner. And this guy here is a curve. Well, both of these are curves when they should be corners. Jeez, Dan. Okay, let's change something else. Let's click on him. Okay, now he's a corner. Great. Let's see, I want to make this guy a curve. And all I do is click, hold, and drag him. Okay, I might have to move it around a little bit. You can see now he is a curve. So there are, yeah, this tool does both. Click it once to get rid of the curve. And if it's a corner and it should be a curve, click and drag it out. Give that a practice. Now there's a few things that need tidying up. Grab my white arrow. There's this guy here. And you can see, well, you might not be able to see why, but I've got this anchor point here, right? There he is. Okay, he's down here, and the handles come out quite far, and they actually go past the point here, and that's trying to like force the line to go like, I'll show you kind of an exaggerated version. It's trying to go back towards itself. So often with these handles, they can't go past kind of like the next anchor point. Otherwise they start doing some weird stuff. So both of you guys can be dragged in closer to the home here, closer to the anchor point. Okay, you're gonna get it like this. And I should go through and fix the head, okay, because he's a little bit off. Now, if you are looking at things, you're like, man, why isn't it symmetrical? Because it looks just a little bit wonky. Often, if I click on this point here, to make a perfect circle, I'll show you what a perfect circle looks like. The ellipse tool, drag it out. It's made up of the same points. Go with the white arrow. If I click on one of them, you can start to see, right? I'm going to select on them all. Actually, click on one of them. You can see, I click on this top one. That one's flat, and these handles are exactly the same length. So, and these ones parallel. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for. You can see here, if I click on this top point, this guy's flat, which is awesome, but these guys are kind of both heading off at an angle. So what I'm going to do is first get them to line up roughly the same kind of points, so it's roughly kind of about there from each other, and I want them to be kind of like straight up and down. Watch this. When I'm dragging this guy around, if I hold shift, it does lock them into like a nice little thing there. Same with you. Straighten up, buddy. And okay, both of these top bits, I want to drag in a little bit and a little bit. And don't be afraid to move the anchor point as well. It's maybe just a bit high in that line. Better. Better. Not perfect, but better. Okay, so I would like your next mission, okay, is to draw the owl. Okay, so I want you to go through, draw the owl, okay, as complete shapes, and then see if you can use your amazing new Illustrator skills and show me a version of your owl. And I'd like to, if you've done the previous tutorial, just a kind of a side-by-side, just copy and paste them from one document to another. And I want you to see what you did with your curve tool and what you did with your pen tool. If they're both perfect, awesome. If one's better than the other, I'd like to kind of hear your feedback about which tool you like the most. Are you a precision pen tool person? Pen tool is like the one that's been around forever. The curved tool's new. And is it cheating? It's not cheating. You're still drawing, but it's helping you out a little bit. I want to know which you found better. So get them side by side. Give me a screenshot. I'd love to see what you're doing. All right, that's it for this tutorial. I will see you in the next one.